certified legal immigrant and an American citizen, how much of that crossover is going on? Because it seems like it's rampant, and I think that's great.
I think it is great. I think it's really hard to know what the numbers are. I mean, this law that affected us, was enacted in '96, and since that time, I mean, when you think of the number of communities like Rogers Park, where you have, the number of mixed status couples, mixed status marriages, I mean, it's got to be enormous, especially in Chicago.
Right.
But I do think what happens, I know that even when I returned from D.C. and I was ready to get like all my friends who share my situation, let's get going on this. I mean, the number of people who are just scared. I mean, this is the thing. We have a system.
How is an organizer, now that you're an organizer, a community organizer, how do you deal with that? How do you encourage people who have some fears and trepidation about taking a stand that would benefit them in the long run?
I really think this is one of those cases where trying to lead by example is probably the best. I'm not going to tell anyone, especially when they have young children, that they have to. I'm not going to coerce anyone into doing that because it is scary. I mean, when I had to stand up and speak before a congressman and tell him, I gave a speech where I was naming my kids by name and naming my husband by name. That's, it's terrifying. And I'm not going to tell anyone that they have to put their family in that.
They're living in Wisconsin now.
But I think that, I'm hopeful that more and more people will be, I discovered a woman who, out in Elgin, she kind of came out on stage with Jose Antonio Vargas. He was here for a talk, and she kind of just came out, and I was like, I tracked her down because I was so excited, that there's another one, I don't think there's going to be a lot of us who want to do this, maybe put ourselves in this position. Mm-hmm. But I'm hoping that we'll gain some momentum the more, even if it's just a few of us, are doing this, the more we do it, the more people will have kind of joining on board. They'll see we have a momentum.
I do recall when this is going back 25 years, when the sanctuary movement was helping refugees, basically people not exactly
mainly
the same,
El Salvador.
Mostly from El Salvador and then from Guatemala, and that we actually wound up hiring the first sanctuary family's oldest son, who became a chef here and worked here for a good 11 or 12 years.
Caetano.
Hello, Caetano, wherever you are.
Wherever you are, brother. Hello, I hope you're doing well.
And I do recall there being a couple of different hearings with basically community organizing and folks wearing masks, hoods on their heads to not be identified. This is different. This is not refugees, but I think you've touched on what will be your biggest challenge, right? Is getting people past their own fears in order to be an activated force for the change.
Absolutely. It's terrifying. And when you're like us, we've spent 10 years with this fear. Deportation is always in the back of your head. Everything we do, every decision we make, that possibility is right there. It's guiding our lives.
Yeah.
It's why we never went to Wisconsin. We knew that being in Cook County was a safe place for, quote unquote, it's as safe as we could hope for.
It's incredible.
And I have to say, going to D.C. and meeting other activists from around the country, also behind this cause, they do have much worse stories to tell. The folks we know, it's like, well, our story is we've lived in the shadows. Their story is we're watching TV as a family and ICE walks in and took our dad away. So.
Did you have some personal stuff you wanted to share with us? Did you have to go into hiding or something? What did I hear about that? Is that something you want to say on the
I don't know what's coming up here.
I can say, the timing of this was kind of remarkable. We've never had a situation, but we did recently have a neighbor say he was going to report my husband over kind of just a regular grudge. And this was our first experience of actually feeling like, well, is that actually possible? Now, we had a lawyer, we had Schakowsky's office, we had folks saying, like, probably not, call us if you need anything. So we felt pretty supportive.
Inez, he took the boys and ran.
But yeah, we actually had to have a,
Dads love their kids.
Mm-hmm. So we're just coming off of this. They just came back into town, but, we're sort of, I guess I can't say we're laying low because I'm talking about it on radio.
No, you're doing great. Kathy, we want to thank you for coming on live from the Heartland. We want to know more and more about AmericanFamiliesUnited.org. And you have one more thing you want to share?
Yeah, I did want to say that folks locally, American Families United is small. We're very focused in this one area, but ICIRR is doing great advocacy work here in Chicago. So this is a great way that anybody who just generally wants to support immigration reform, check out their website. There's some great marches coming up. There's going to be the May Day March on May 1st at 2 o'clock. And also-
ICIRR is Illinois Coalition for Immigrant Refugee Rights.
Thank you. Yeah. So checking them out and also making calls to senators, congressmen. I mean, those calls I now recognize do help and they count.
they do.
So saying that this base proposal is something we need to fight for and that we believe in would really help.
All right, we want to thank you for listening to the Live from the Heartland show. We're here every Saturday morning. Big round of applause. We had a good audience today.
Yep.
We got people who want to know about the farmers market. People want to know about participatory budgeting. People want to know about immigrant rights. We want to thank everybody who makes this show possible, and we want to encourage you all to do good in the world. We say all power to the people.
All power to the people.
Over and out. Thank you so much. Have a
Bye.
great day.